Hi, I'm Miriam Joy and welcome to my studio. Today we're working on our curly mesh Halloween wreath, and this is just a really fun, festive Halloween decoration. So let's get started. This is a really fun and festive Halloween wreath. I think this is my favorite this year. And so we're going to show you how to do this fun wreath. And to begin with, I made a trip to Dollar Tree, and that's where I purchased all of my mesh, including my mesh tubing, which I don't have pictured here if you want to do that. It takes about 15 yards of the black, and these are 5-yard packs. And it takes about 10 of whatever middle color you want to use. So I thought I'd do purple and kind of change it up a little bit. We are going to be using black pipe cleaners to put it together with. So I'm going to first cut these in half, and then I'm going to cut them in 3s. So I get 6 ties out of those. And you can go to your craft store or Walmart and pick up the pipe cleaners that are the same color that you want, because I also want some purple ones here, but the black would probably be okay with the purple ones as well. And I like to do wreaths different than a lot of people do. I've kind of got my own twist to them. So this one we're going to do a little bit different, and we're actually going to be doing the outside and the inside with the black, and we're first going to start this off by tying it to the wreath, or my frame, my wreath frame, and this was also at the Dollar Tree. Come on, Dollar Tree, give me a call. And so we're going to push this through, and we're going to bring this up about 5 inches here, and I'm going to grab my ruler and just kind of give me a baseline here. So this is one of my products. This is a flexi, and it's nice because it's bendable and pliable. So I'm going to do that, like I said, about 5 inches off from that bottom part there. And more or less, you don't have to worry about it. But what we're going to do once we get going here is we're going to anchor one side of the ribbon and not the other side. And this one is anchored because that's where we started. We'll show you that when we go to the next one. That'll make a little bit more sense, because what it does is it kind of fans out and covers up more of the wreath that way. So we're going to be working under this, coming into the inside, and this one probably around 3 inches. We'll take a look here. See if that looks right, around 3 inches. Yep, pretty much so by the time it gets done here. And I'm going to go ahead and anchor this one a little bit different as well, so we have it tied and it doesn't slip around on us here. Now that we have those to anchor, we're going to be working back and forth. So we're going to come back. We're never going to go in this middle space while we're using the black. And come up, and we can measure off of our other one now, make it about that part. And remember I said we don't tie this one off, so this one we're not going to tie off. We're going to tie the back one off. So this one stays loose so it can kind of fan out, and we're going to tie this guy here. I'm just going to use this one over here because it's easier. I thought he got a little bit bigger there on me. So we want to do about 5, and it does not have to be exact. I'm just trying to give myself a good base to work with. So this back part of this one, we are now going to just tie off. And it's easier, I have done these in the past without tying them, but it's harder to keep them because when you go to this side and pull, then you pull it through, and it's harder to keep them the right size and everything. So that's the reason that we do tie the one side of it, but by not tying the front side with this, it covers this whole area here. So that's the reasoning behind it. And we're going to try and do at least 4 in each section, and with this one roll right here, the 5 yards, we should be able to do 2 sections. So I'm gonna pull this guy out here. Got him way too long, but I'm trying to unstick him here. So we scoot that guy over and pull this guy down. And it should be about 3 inches there. And we're going to, again, just tie that back side, that last one, to our base. Then we're going to come back through there, measure up to your last guy, however tall he was, and again we're going to tie that last guy there. So this is going to be our 4th loop on the top, and I'm going to anchor it to this part here, so again it doesn't slide or move around. So we're gonna get that guy there. So we've got 4 on top, and then we want to do 4 on the bottom before we jump our, oops, he moved around on me. Guess I didn't get him on that one. I thought I had him on it. We'll just throw another one on top of him. There we go. So I'm going to tie this guy here just on the one side again, and again I'm going to tie that guy on to that next section so he will anchor him and he won't slide. That way you don't end up with all of your ribbon in the middle or to one side or anything like that. That's the reasoning. So now we're going to go on the other side of this, and we're just going to continue, and I'm going to try to get 4 in here on the top and 4 on the bottom. If you only get 3, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're getting less than that, you need to make your loop smaller, and I'll come back on when we get to that double section and show you how to put your next color in. I've gotten 4 loops in the top, and so I'm working on the bottom one, and we're going to get 4 on each one of those, and we still have plenty. If I can pull this guy out even, we'll be good. Let's just start over there and pull him through, right? So we have him right there. So we're going to anchor him on. Now there's a couple of things that we could do with him. This guy's about the same length, so I think I'm just going to leave him straight out. If he was shorter, you may just want to cut it off right there. And then we're going to start the next one just like we began. So I'm going to anchor this guy to this side one. And I didn't do this last one to the side. I'm going to start off by anchoring that one to the side. And just leave them like that. If you don't like that, then cut them off. There's no right or wrong on that. So I'm just going to start this guy again, tuck that tail under. You want to leave enough tail that if you happen to pull it or anything, it doesn't come undone. So we're going to anchor him on that part. And just start all over again. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and we'll even finish up just the same way as we did right there until we get that completely covered with the black. We've gone all the way around our wreath, and I finished up just like we started. You can tuck it in or cut it off if you need to, but we've done all of that, and we're ready to start our next little area. And what we're going to do is we're going to tie some mesh tubing on. And I get this at the Dollar Tree as well. This is 36 feet. And I'm going to cut these in, because these were about 5 inches out. So I'm going to cut these in 10-inch sections. And I'm going to do them at the same time. I'm going to do orange and purple, and I decided on this one that I'm going to use my centerpiece. I'm going to use purple just for a different look, but with against the black we want something that's going to show up. So you can cut these with your paper cutter as well, or I just make me a master one and go off of it from there. So they're 10 inches long. And then I just keep on going. If you get a part that's kinked too tight, then just cut that kink part out and then just keep on using it. So what we're going to do with those is we're going to take 2 of them at the same time, and we're going to put them in half, and we're going to come in and go in between each of our loops here on that last ring. So I'm going to get both of those through there and just loop those through and pull those out. So we have that bright, fun color. So we'll do a loop, and then we'll do another one right there. Oops, I got one that wasn't cut there. And I did do little ones on the other side, and I did some green ones. And you can kind of take a look at that. I didn't think that you could see it as well, so I don't think I'm going to do that in this one. But if you decide you want those, then just do the little ones on that ring as well. But we're just going to take those all the way around, and then that adds that real bright, fun, festive feel to our wreath there. I've tied all of my mesh tubing on, and there was 4 in each section, and we had 6 sections, so that was 24 of each of the 2 colors. And doesn't that already start to look like a party? I just love the mesh tubing. It's so bright and colorful and fun. So we've got that done. So now we're going to start doing our center color, and we needed we needed a total of 10 yards. So if you picked them up at the Dollar Tree, you needed 2 of those. And we're going to cut those into 6-inch sections before we tie them on. And I use my paper cutter, and it goes real fast this way, and I just keep it right there and just roll it across and just keep it going. And that works really, really well for me, and I like to do it that way. These nice little lightweight paper cutters we have at miriamjoy.com as well. So once you get those all cut, we're going to put those on with our pipe cleaners. And I did pick these up at the Dollar Tree as well. They're purple, so they match my mesh ribbon here, but you also could probably use a black with these. I wouldn't go out and get special ones if you didn't have them. So on each of these sections, we're going to do 10. But we're going to do 5 on top and 5 on the bottom, and we're going to alternate it. But what we're going to do is take our mesh and we're going to roll it in, and just so we can get that all nice and curved. And try not to have one come out and one go down so you have that point like that. Try to keep both of these even. And if you have one that starts to point out, come over and pull the other side a little bit, and that'll even it out and you get that fun curl. I would not go any less than 6 inches. Any less than that, you don't get a real good form. So we're just going to come in here again. And this is above that mesh, but right on that ring, that black mesh. We're just going to tie these on with our little purple pipe cleaners. One there, and then just tuck your ends under. So I have that one on my top row. And I'm going to do one more here. So we're bringing that circle in, and it might be easier to set that down and kind of do it like that. I was trying to figure out a way to kind of roll it around a pencil or something as well. So now we did that top one. We're going to come in here and do this bottom one. And these are the 2 that we did not do anything with. These should both be completely open on that wire frame of our wreath. So we're just going to do that. So then we're just going to kind of push it along. So I'm going to finish 10, and I'll come back and I'll show you what that section looks like. But already that's adds so much more color. So I've done 10 in a section, and that fits in there nice and good. So go ahead and finish up all 6 of those sections. So you'll be cutting out 66-inch pieces of the purple. And this would also look really cute if instead of purple you used green. And they didn't have green, but that comes with the Christmas color. So you might want to snitch some out of there, and you might like that better, whatever colors you want to do. Another idea is if you wanted to put a big bow with some different ribbon in it, you could do that. Just leave a section open and make your bow, and then just tie it right there. And then if you have any areas that you need to fill in, you could fill in around that, but that would leave room for that. I wanted to show you the orange again, and I also wanted to show you the tubing, the mesh tubing on the inside. And if you like that, go ahead and put that. If you don't think it needs it, then don't worry about it. Here is the purple. I just didn't think it showed enough, but maybe I might go back and put a little bit of maybe just the orange on the inside. That might show up a little bit, but isn't that a lot of fun? I love the purple. So let's get a hanger on this guy so we have something to hang him onto, and you can kind of decide where you want that to go. And I'm going to use just one black pipe cleaner, and I just tied that together, and we're just going to put it through that loop right there and bring that on up. And there is your hanger. If you want to make that shorter, then just cut that off shorter. I decided to come back and add the orange to the middle. I think it really does help make it pop and completes it. So because those are about 3-inch loops, we're going to make our little mesh tubings about 6 inches. So they should be about 3 when we divide them in half. And again, we're just going to divide them in half, make a loop around that wire, and pull it through. And we should have 24 of those, just like we had on the outside. And I did have enough mesh from the one I picked up at the Dollar Tree, just that same original one that I started with. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of those all the way around. And you can decorate this any way you want to. I really did like it just with a couple of spiders, but don't get just stuck in that idea. You might decide that you would like something different in it. There's all kinds of Halloween decorations. I have these handsies here, and I really like these. I've been trying to figure out where to best show these off of. I think that might be kind of cute on that as well. So there's all things you can do with that, but that wreath in general will cost you under $10 to do, and you've got this great, fantastic, really festive Halloween wreath. Well, we finished our Halloween wreath, and that was a lot of fun. Another thing I wanted to tell you is you also can use your wreaths as centerpieces. They don't always have to hang on a wall. You can put something in the middle and have them in the center of a table. So there's lots of different options with that. So give us a thumbs up, tell us you liked our video, subscribe so we can bring you lots of fun videos during this Halloween season. Have a safe and happy Halloween.